This is a 74 Challenger that we bought. We bought it on Halloween. Paid $500 for it. It is a numbers matching Challenger. Unfortunately, most of it's numbers matching to rust. We're going to take the body apart and probably rebody it onto something else. A lot of the nuts and bolts are breaking. As you can see, the front torsion bar is completely gone out of it. It is laying on its transmission cross member, as well as exciting things like that that's completely rusted through. So really, the only thing good that the body's going to be good for is it donating for another body. Might take it and put on a Crown Vic chassis. I've been debating on whether or not I also put it on the Ram Charger chassis. But you know, it is a factory 1974 Rally Challenger. It's got the Rally side scoops on it and the wing on the back. The door's still open and closed. And our barn cat loves it. He's in here at the moment. He likes to hang out in there. You can tell it probably needs cleaned again. But there it is, 1974 Dodge Challenger, bulletproof garage.
Okay, day one of the disassemble the Challenger.
You can take that wobble off if you want to.
Yeah, I'm going to, because it's not treating me very good.
This one's gonna break.
It sure did.
It happens. It happens. Well, like I said, there's things on here that I know we're gonna be able to keep, and things on here that just aren't gonna be worth keeping.
Okay.
I have a sneaking suspicion once the fenders come off this car's gonna fall. And this hinge here is the kind of hinge that maybe possibly you would want to use, but it might be the last hinge you had before you use it.
That bad?
The whole car's pretty bad. That's why you shouldn't leave your car sitting outside for long periods of time. I mean, that, like I said, that hinge there is still good enough if you had nothing. If you had nothing, that hinge would be great. But that hinge over there is completely trashed. Did you find the right one?
I'm trying to take that off for me.
Which one? This 5/16?
Yep. Thank you.
So if you want to pull that, we're just going to start going across the top of this motor.
Okay.
Go ahead and pull the intake off of it and look at the, I assume that the, I would guess that the carburetor's no good. And I've got sockets in my pocket too that when you're ready to go faster.
Okay. Yeah. If you got something a little smaller than a 5/16, because that ain't it.
Do what?
5/16 is too big.
Okay. Remember the whole set of sockets. What is it, 8?
I don't know. All right.
5/16.
There you go.
It's probably that. Try that one.
Okay. Guess we'll try. Put it on.
Is that it?
Hmm.
Or this one? There's 8.
Straight. That's it.
Oh. I don't even know what this plate does. This is some kind of emissions. Some kind of an emissions plate. It had something mounted to it. It was probably a seatbelt interlock or something.
Really?
Yeah.
On the firewall? That's
Do what?
crazy. On the firewall?
Well, we gotta put them somewhere. These generally are usually bad. This is the voltage regulator.
Yeah, they usually catch on fire.
Oh, they usually are. That one there looks like it's new. Look at that. Huh. It's funny. Wouldn't have guessed that, would you?
Nope. When do you think the last time this car was on the road? Any signs?
I've seen it yet to tell one way or the other. full. I mean, it's just full of debris inside, full of clothing and everything else. Somebody was.
Is that the original carb?
Yes, that is the original carburetor. That is a Carter.
I see the little tag on it.
No, that is a Carter carburetor.
Boy, how's this thing? Just want to go.
Hey, there's coolant in this one.
Really?
Yeah, there's actually green coolant in this one. Yeah, so there might be coolant at the bottom of the block. Probably not much. Oh, let's see. I need to set aside cuts. Is that coolant in it?
It does not have coolant.
Throw the hose clamp in the bucket.
Okay.
And that hose is junk. Go ahead and unbolt it.
Okay.
I'm going to grab some side cuts. Do you need anything else?
Nope.
You want gloves?
No, thank you.
Take the rings off.
All right.
Check this out. Windshield washer fluid hose. It's funny, the washer fluid's all the way over here.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a fairly new set of spark plugs in it. Isn't that funny?
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing this motor's no good. I'll bring out a trash can.
Have you tried to spin it?
Oh, that motor turning over there. I want to check if it's got oil in it.
Okay. Let's see, does she have oil? It's got oil. And it's almost to the full.
Is it?
Look, I mean it's black, but
Huh.
crazy.
We can crank the motor over.
I just didn't know if you had tried spinning it. Is it a 383?
No.
What is it?
Distributors in the back.
Okay.
318.
318.
Yep. Yeah. I might have to loosen that hose clamp a little more than that.
It's pretty
This
loose.
that bucket there's for trash, okay?
Okay. Okay, that's pretty loose. She just needs... There we go.
And I believe if you look at that, I think it's trash. The hose clamp, does it look like you can see daylight through there?
I don't see any, but these are some pretty deep
Yeah.
marks. So I wouldn't take my chances unless I was desperate.
No.
Hose clamp save. Alright, what's next?
For you, if you want to start unbolting things across there, that hinge probably comes straight up. That hinge can probably come straight off.
Yeah.
I need everything that's bolted on that firewall. See those bolts holding that starter switch on?
Yeah.
Those can come off, but I need you to save the wiring harnesses just in case. So you've got a couple bolts up there,
Mm-hmm.
a couple bolts right there, and then see those bolts on top of that switch?
Yep.
Those are all going to be 7/16, I believe, which is right here.
Okay.
There's your 7/16.
Thank you. Oops.
Don't lose my sockets.
Here, I was trying to hand you that one back. And this one back.
Thank you. And eventually we're going to pull that radiator out. We're going to go in that direction. Right now I'm going to pull all this stuff off the top of the motor.
It even
All
has
all this stuff is the gear.
it has its fender tag.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that great?
That's crazy.
It is kind of odd that we still have a fender tag on it. Old spark plug wires. And although this motor might turn over, it's still a 318 two-barrel, and even if it did fire up, there's probably odds are against that it's going to run at this point. It's pretty far south. Although it's likable.
Yeah, it's got some rust issues for sure.
I always check the hoses and stuff for date codes too, because sometimes you'll pull these hoses off and they'll be factory Mopar hoses, like this one right here. Look at that. You see that right there? What's that say right there? Mopar. That is the factory original heater hose for this car with the factory clamp. That is a factory Mopar heater hose.
Wow.
Yeah, that heater hose there is 49 years old.
It's crazy. Still on the car.
Still on the car.
So this thing must have been parked for a long time.
I would say this car has been parked for somewhere in the neighborhood. 30 to 40 years.
Do you know where the car originated from?
I don't know much about this car. I don't know much about it.
I don't know if this is going to survive. We'll try. I think it's...
If it does, if it just wants to twist off, just twist it completely off.
Yeah, it's
that
not...
inner fender's going already anyways.
I see that. It's
Just
not...
pull on it.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay, saving the wire harness.
Yep, and if you can go, that hood hinge can probably rip off as well.
Oh, poor car. I don't know. It seems a little solid.
Does it?
Yeah, on at least one bolt is pretty solid. Maybe not the front one, obviously. Yeah, you're gonna have to do that because it'll probably just break off. I won't be able to do it. So, did this car have a title?
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna title it as a Challenger, or are you gonna title it as whatever you put on it?
This is a Challenger title. This is a Challenger title.
So keep this VIN tag?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
I'm probably going to cut that off with a grinder because I don't want to get that off.
Okay.
So if you want to take, we're working our way around this way. If you want to pull those plug wires off, you can take that cap off that distributor.
Okay.
But you can pull those plug wires. Just make sure that as you're pulling on them that you.
That I don't break them off.
No, well, you pay attention and make sure that you don't break your fingers off in the process.
Gotcha.
You asked if this motor turned over.
Yes.
Usually.
Might have.
I don't think that motor's going to turn over.
Nope.
But that's okay. So eventually what we're actually going to do with this car is we're going to cut it free. We're going to cut the inner fender wells because they're in such bad shape.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to actually cut the
So what do you think about the spark plugs? Do you think they're newer or are they old?
no, they're newer. Somebody's put spark plug in it. I mean, all these cars at some point in time were probably very well loved.
Yeah.
You know, this car is probably very loved. But this is really neat that it's got an original Mopar hose on it. It's not worth anything, but I'll keep it anyways. It's interesting that it would have that on it still.
Right.
Those coming off?
I got one off. I got a fingernail off.
Just watch your rings. Just grab them by the, you can grab them by the wire, just pull the wire.
Okay.
Whatever happens, happens, that's fine. You can leave that on there if it doesn't want to come. That's trash, throw that in the bucket.
Okay.
Throw those in there. Let's see what's underneath here. I can see it. Is it about right there?
Yep.
And look at that Mopar distributor.
Mouthful of.
Cap looks good. Cap's actually pretty decent, surprisingly. And everything in the distributor's pretty decent too.
Huh?
Got a, I don't see any brand on it, but I thought worth keeping.
Cool.
Plug wires can all go in this bucket over here. I need to unbolt that.
Okay.
And then that is on 3 bolts. That needs to come off. That's the wiper motor.
Okay.
And I'm heading your direction. Somebody's definitely put front brake lines on this.
I'm gonna need an extension probably. We'll see if I don't.
Good. Let's use this.
Oh, no. I got it.
Cool. Some things on this car that they just don't make anymore, and everybody's all fired up about using brand new parts on stuff, but it's nice to be able to use the stuff that you got. If you happen to have the ability to store some parts and use the stuff that you have in storage, it saves you a lot of money. Save a guy a lot of money. That way you can kind of go along and say you need a 2-barrel carburetor or something like that. You got one sitting there, and it's you ain't making it anymore.
So I got this one free.
Yep. Why don't you pull that carburetor instead? I'm going to bring you some wrenches. I'm going to have you pull that carburetor off.
Okay. How about a vacuum cleaner?
It's all going to fall right in that motor, unfortunately.
Right? There's the hood we just took off.
Two-barrel carburetors don't bring a lot of money. I'm going to have you take this 2-barrel off. It's a 9/16 box wrench. There's 4 of them. You have to take them like, no, it's a half. There's 4 of them right there. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. I'll hand you back this.
Right on there. I'm going to undo your vacuum lines. These vacuum lines are not needed anymore. Just cut them right off. Man, there's vacuum lines everywhere. This car was the start when they started to finally think they needed to have emissions on these cars. And they really didn't. They still run pretty good without all this stuff. But
Is this a 74?
74.
Yep.
But they were started. Some of those might be tighter than others.
You think?
Hmm?
You said you think? Yeah, I might have to blast this one.
Hmm?
So I might have to blast this one. She ain't gonna turn for me. Tight, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty tight.
We might have to soak some of this.
Yeah, I might have to suck some of that. Well, we can pull the intake off. There's 3 bolts on that wiper motor.
Okay.
Use that to take them off. Use that to take them off.
Okay. It's always nice when you hand me a tool, I know it's ready to go.
I might try. Try to point it to you in a way that it would be ready to work. These alternator brackets are obviously pretty important too. God, this thing's not going to want to come apart.
Which thing?
I was going to pull the alternator off. I'm going to pull the alternator and the power steering pump and go. And like I said, my goal is to get this motor all out without doing too much outrageous damage to it. Motor, though, I just don't think the motor is going to be worth anything at all. Bolts.
Not even the block?
No, not even the block. It's just a 318 block. It'd be a good block if it wasn't weathered, but unfortunately, it's a little too weathered.
The ratcheting ones.
Hmm?
So I like the ratcheting ones better.
What ratchet ones?
This one doesn't ratchet.
It ratchets. If you turn the back of it, it might not ratchet quite as well. There you go.
What was that?
You need any other tools too, there's plenty in there. After that, I want you to pull that, and that. Those 3. Okay? Unfortunately, I believe everything on here is going to break.
Was this that blood orange color originally?
No, I think this is Rally Red. I don't know what the fender tags say. You got it right in front of you. It's going to be, remember you start from the bottom and you read to the top, and it's going to be on the second line from the bottom, I believe the farthest over on the left, and it's probably going to say FE5 is my guess, is what you're going to see on it.
C and F.
Be right about where your hands are at.
It's so weathered, but I think you're right.
FE5?
I see an F at the beginning. Yep, I think so. 3rd row, left from the left.
Second row from the bottom.
Yeah. Yep, you're probably right.
FE5. Good color.
Oh boy, she's not gonna want to break. There's not much to put your weight on the cart without it falling apart.
Get it? Can you get it?
Let me try. Probably should have sprayed a lot of this. Yeah.
You want to get it?
Yeah, this car needs some lube and some love.
Well, so far, I think this is the most broken bolts you're going to find when you take this car apart. There's a lot of them. Sure.
You make it look easy. See, I loosened it for you.
Must have. There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, unfortunately, that hinge is going to have to come off eventually.
Yeah, I know.
Set the motor back down on the car. Here you go. I see a tight one. Watch this. Water pump bolt. There it goes. Yeah, all the nuts and bolts on the whole entire thing, and it might have some coolant still in the block.
Ooh, I think this one's stripped.
Coming?
Yeah.
This one might have water behind it. Think this one will have coolant come out?
I think so, if you had some in some hose.
Can you see it? So when this comes out, this is a water jacket.
Uh-huh.
Nope, dry as a bone. Dry as a bone. But these water pump bolts like this are one of a kind for Mopar for sure. That's how they bolt through the alternator brackets, through the water pump, and through the water pump housing. So if you take those back two out first, by the time you're done with that, I'll be out of your way. So we're gonna go ahead and pull this intake manifold off. The only reason why we're doing all this is kind of to clear out a path. Because eventually this thing's gonna come all the way off. And all those bolts, you don't need to save them or organize them. You can throw them right in the recycler that we got down there. It's kind of funny when you find things, you kind of go, well, that's kind of neat, you know, and it's like we've been putting parts in this from the beginning. I'm going to throw this bucket right here for you.
Okay.
You throw them right in there, okay?
Okay.
It's funny though when you see all these little things and you're like, oh yeah, I know where that goes, I know where that goes. Maybe I did carry some tools in there. I'm gonna go double check. I don't see the side cuts anywhere either, do you? No good either. Okay, I'm ready for the big reveal when you are. When you want to pull the valve cover off, then we'll pull the intake off as well. I think I can clear the distributor. Now normally you would vacuum all this out.
Yeah.
Make it look a little prettier, but I'm pretty sure this motor's no good, so.
So you're not afraid to drop stuff in the intake.
Yep. So, that's your last one?
Got one more, I do believe.
Doing good, having fun?
Mm-hmm.
This is probably, you'll learn more dismantling something than you will putting something together. Which is kind of funny. You'd think it'd be the other way around. Sorry, you're probably shooting video, aren't you?
I might be. Okay, I'm gonna wait for you for the reveal. While we're waiting on him, Give you guys a little shot of the scenery.
Fine.
Waiting on you.
Go ahead. Let's see it. What broke?
I'm gonna let you do the honors.
What broke? So in an ideal world, when you took this off, you would see nice, beautiful valves and rock arms and things like that. But this is probably not going to be that way. It's probably going to be pretty bad. Sometimes you have to give them a little love. And the easiest way to do it is probably right about there, or right about.
There you go.
Okay, ready?
I'm ready.
So beautiful, clean rockers, valve springs.
What's your guess? I'm gonna say it's nice. What do you think? It's nice.
It's like brand new. Look at the inside of that rocker.
Wow.
Look at the inside of that valve cover.
I know.
Okay, now we're vacuuming out the intake before we take it off.
Yeah, that looks like that might survive.
Yeah, we'll grab a vacuum cleaner. Well, in the infamous words of Derek Vieri, I don't believe it, but I'm going to have to because I'm looking right at it.
Ha.
I'm going to vacuum up the top of the motor. I will plug you in.
Sure.
I'm amazed that the top of the motor looks that good. That makes me think the intake's going to look good too. So,
You might get lucky.
yeah, I'll plug you in. Well, I'm going to get lucky.
Lift this up?
Not yet. Turn it back down on there.
Okay.
And we'll come around here and pull this valve cover off.
Okay.
I'm going to clean for one more minute here.
Okay, let's see.
The other side looked pretty good. Fingers crossed. Come on now. That motor's cleaner than most. I'll give it. Now we need to vacuum again real quick, and then we'll pull the intake manifold and see what's underneath the intake manifold. So let's run the shop vac again. Here's this.
Okay.
Shop vac all that up. I'll move this a little closer. We'll put this back on. and then we'll see what we can do with it. This looks just as good as the intake does, or as the valve covers do, because the valve covers were definitely a surprise. The easiest way to pull this is use something, pry just gently with it, like this. Heads up.
Nice.
Okay.
All right.
I gotta get both hands on this thing, so it was 50 pounds.
Moment of truth. It's a complete fresh rebuild.
Ready?
Ready.
That out of the way. And this needs to come with this. Ready?
Yep.
It's got a cam in it too, looks like.
Wow.
Pretty clean.
Pretty clean. On it.
Don't knock that over.
I won't.
Let's vacuum it up again one more time.
Here, I can go. If you want to stay in here, I'll just run the vacuum.
You want?
If you want to stay in here.
Because if this thing falls on your foot, it's gonna make your foot. It's trash. Get these scales up here too. These intake.
Something in there. Here. I can't get that. Whatever that is. Something's going. Hi, son.
I can't believe it. I can't believe how clean this motor is. Would have never ever guessed that motor would be that clean. It's amazing. I can't believe it. Yeah, somebody probably did a lot of work on these and just left them be. That'd be a good 318 to put in the Dart Sport, in all honesty, if it turns over.
Yeah, and it's got a cam and everything.
Yeah. Let's see if it rolls over.
We were thinking about just junking the motor because, as you can tell, the car is pretty rough.
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Yeah, we went to take the... What?
The caps look pretty good too in the piston.
Mm.
And that's they're alright.
Yeah,
Like-
that's the cam. You can see the cam.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were not expecting it to be so nice. Cool, huh?
Mm-hmm.
The alternator was stuck. Alternator and water pump both.
So since the...
So if the motor rolls over, then depending on what the oil pan looks like, the motor could be amazing. I haven't even checked to see what size the motor is yet, in all honesty. Okay, ready?
I'm ready.
Motor's fine. Kind of watch all those rockers and tell me if all those rockers look like they're moving.
Yep.
They all moving?
Yep. So far. They all move.
Hand me that PP blaster up there. Casey, go grab me that PP blaster on the roof. Thank you. Well, it hasn't been lubricated in a while, so let's go ahead and give it a little bit of little bit of juice. Same thing with these guys. Over here. Oh, it's okay, I got it. The motor hasn't been moved in a long time, which this one.
Do you want to watch to make sure these all move as well?
Is that all the way down?
Yeah.
Roll it over a little bit more though.
I'd say that's a good motor.
That motor would have ran.
So do you think it could have been bored, or do you think it's just a 318?
I don't know. Somebody definitely has been cleaning on it because they usually aren't that clean in the rocker valleys. I mean, it's got a little bit of sludge in it, but
But a lot nicer than what we've seen.
yeah, compared to what I figured it would have. Honestly, compared to what I thought we were going to look at here, that motor looks like brand spanking new. Okay, now it's getting late, so I'm going to pick up. I'm going to get that hood hinge off one way or the other. I'm going to set the hood back on because this needs to stay dry.
Alright, sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Another fun day at Bulletproof Garage.
Bulletproof Garage.